Hi, my name is Tomo Moriwaki. I work for Treyarch, and I am the creative director on the Spider-Man 2 project. And so let us show you some of the stuff we have going on this game. As you can see, we've just jumped off one of the tallest buildings in New York there. Got a ridiculous speed before he let out a web that attached to a building. As you can see, he has two webs out here right now. We have a revolutionary new swinging system where the web's attached to buildings and Spider-Man behaves according to gravity. And it's really, really exhilarating. You can go anywhere you want in the city. The city goes on for kilometers. And we find that beginning players only take a few minutes to pick up the system, being able to get from place to place. We want as much as possible for this to be accessible to everyone. At the same time, it's a very satisfying experience to master this art of swinging through a city. It's really, really an enjoyable experience for almost anybody. Now, we provide the player with a gigantic city, though, to interact with. And it's important because it helps to immerse the player in the experience of being Spider-Man, in addition to kind of letting this whole swinging system like live and breathe. As you can see, we're really, really high up in the air here. In a way, there are like 4 levels of swinging. Some way up high where you're going from like building to building, like they're islands. And then the lower you get, the more it gets like a maze that you're like screaming through at like 50, 60 miles an hour. It's really amazing some of the angles you can get going and the camera pans to keep it really dynamic and exciting. The experience of swinging is extremely addictive. It's one of the most new, there's never been a game that allows a player to really interact in a 3D environment quite like this. Now, in addition to a lot of the swinging, though, we've really improved locomotion across the board. Spider-Man's capabilities of moving around, we've added features to his running, to his crawling, to his jumping especially. He's sprinting along a wall here, as you can see. Then he transitioned right into a swing, jumped up in the air, zipped and attached to a wall, and from that he's able to charge and jump across like building to building. It's just amazing. Because we provide the player with so many tools to move around the city, the player can actually develop their own style of being Spider-Man, whichever way makes them feel best, whichever way they like the most. Now, we haven't just improved locomotion, though. We've also done a lot of things to combat for this game. Like in all Spider-Man games, web weapons are a real important tool for the player. And it's no different in this game. As you can see here, an armored car has been robbed, and Spider-Man has to go and help. Now, he has a time limit to get there, so he gets to use his locomotion abilities and tries to get there as quickly as possible. But once there, he can use his web weapons. We can tie up multiple people. You can web rodeo them in circles. You have control of the speed in which you're rotating them. You can knock characters up into the air and fight in the sky. All the tools that you have when you're standing on the ground are also available to you when you're flying in the air. You can grapple people and do a wide variety of combo moves on them afterward. Not only can you grapple people, but once grappled, you can also bring them up into the air, swing around with them, as well as doing a variety of interesting moves. Here's an example of our custom car combat and chase mode. When cars are moving, when there's a car that you have to chase, we go into this mode where you can chase after the car with the goal being to land on the car itself. It's actually easier than it sounds. But once you landed on it, we provide the player with a custom game mode here, where the car is actually going to try to shoot at the player while you try to disable it or subdue it. So you can move from location to location on the car while they try to shoot you off. You can dodge bullets as well as move from location to location to avoid the attacks. Once the car's been subdued, the bad guys inside get out, and then you get to fight them as well. And another thing we try to do is maintain the continuity of combat. We try to bring a lot of the combo system back into itself so you can keep the action going almost indefinitely, and even move from target to target in the air.